Welcome everyone, I'm Greg Hagger if you don't know me, so I'm the founder of Greg's Bass Shed, so I'm going to chat about the bass courses today. It's just going to be a quick session, I'm just going to quickly run through each course and explain what's in them. So feel free to leave a comment, just so someone can let me know if they can hear this fine. Just put yes or okay or something like that in the comments. Now there's a bit of a delay in the comments, as many of you will know, so if you've got any questions as you go through, then just put them straight in the comments as we go through the session. At the end, I'll do some Q&As, so you can just put comments in there and I'll answer them live. If you're watching this on the replay, then feel free to leave a comment still. It might take me 24 hours, but I'll get round to answering all the comments. Okay, so I'm just going to crack straight on and briefly talk about the courses. So thanks for joining me tonight. So probably a lot of you will be looking at this on the replay, but thanks for coming along live. Thanks Terry, so you can hear me fine. So I'll just start with Walk the Blues quickly. So this is my kind of flagship course, the most popular one. It's a deep dive into the various blues forms and styles, featuring bassists such as Gus Thornton, Tommy Shannon, Duck Dunn and Jerry Drummott. In this course you'll immerse yourself in classic blues tunes to learn what the pro bassists play, why these note choices sound great, and how to improvise your own authentic sounding blues bass lines. Okay, so it's important, the way that I approach learning bass and playing bass is just learning all the riffs and the techniques and concepts from the pro really great bassists, so your favorite bassists. Break it down, work out what they're playing, and then incorporate this into your own playing. Okay, so if probably a lot of you are self-taught. I was actually self-taught on the basis of the way I taught myself, and now I'm a pro player. So studying these great players really kind of helps to improve your playing quickly and efficiently. Okay, so the tunes in the course, so a wide variety of tunes. Almost all of them, apart from Gary Moore, is kind of like American blues really. So we look at, for some of the tunes, we look at different versions. So for example, Born Under a Bad Sign, we look at the Albert King version and the Robin Ford version. So there's kind of new and old kind of blues in here, many different styles of blues. I'll just play you a little bit of one of the backing tracks. So this is from, they call it Stormy Monday. So the backing tracks are made up with me and some pro musicians, guitarists and drummers. So you can jam to all these backing tracks. This is Stormy Monday. Okay, so you obviously get versions with and without bass. So I've laid down bass lines to all the backing tracks, so you can kind of hear that as well, get a good idea of what I would play. But you obviously get them without the bass, so you can jam to those. This is our version on Texas Pride, so Pride and Joy. Classic Stevie Ray tune with the Texas Shuffle in there by Tommy Shannon. This is Born Under a Bad Sign. So it's quite interesting actually comparing the different styles from Robin Ford and Albert King for that tune. And The Thrill Is Gone, we did a kind of more up-to-date version, and the original B.B. King version as well. So there are backing tracks for all of the tunes in the course. Okay, so if you've been playing blues for a while, you're kind of more advanced blues player, then I'd recommend looking at the Birth of British Blues. Now these players were a lot more virtuosic. Okay, so it's a study of the classic blues bassists that formed the core of the British blues explosion era of the 1960s. If you're not really sure about British blues, well, it was a kind of form of blues that happened in the 60s. They were all inspired by African American blues players, and they kind of formed their own take on blues really. It was a little bit more rocky in places, a little bit more virtuosic. A lot of these players came from jazz backgrounds, people like Jack Bruce, Bill Wyman. So we've got Andy Fraser in there, John McVie, just a few examples of the bass players. So in this course you'll take your blues playing up a notch by tackling the more virtuosic bass lines and melodies that contributed to the success of these timeless British blues classics. Okay, so yeah, this is a tune. So in tunes like Stepping Out, You Don't Love Me by John Mayall and the Blues Breakers, the bassist actually plays some of the heads, some of the melodies. So it's a harder course. So if you are beginning, I would recommend starting with Walk the Blues. But if you're a kind of intermediate player and you think you've got all of those basics from Walk the Blues down, then check out The Birth of British Blues. Okay, so this is a bit of Red Rooster, the live kind of version, inspired by the live version. This is our backing track. Got a really cracking organ player and piano player on these backing tracks. It was really a lot of fun making them. This is Love Until I Die, 10 years after. Always reminds me of Crossroads, kind of similar riffs. And then going down slow, so Free. This is Andy Fraser at the age of 16, I think. He might have been about 18 by then. It's absolutely amazing bass line. Okay, so that's a few examples of the backing tracks from this course, The Birth of British Blues. There's a third blues course, which is the Blues Jam Night Survival Guide. This is a shorter course, one of the masterclass courses. They're shorter. If you ever wanted to get up at a blues jam or play in a blues band, this course will give you the skills you need to confidently get up on stage, armed with the knowledge that you can handle whatever is thrown at you. Okay, so lots of things you kind of need to know. It's very helpful if you know jam night etiquette, you know, who you chat to get up on stage. It's a bit nerve-wracking, first of all. I remember when I first did it, totally nerve-wracking, in fact. You need to kind of know a little bit about transcribing the different blues forms. You don't need to learn every single tune that might possibly come up, but it's good to have a variety of tunes under your belt, knowing what to do for endings, how to sort of blag it really the first few times, because you kind of learn on the job. But here's a bit of an outline of what's in the course. Okay, so I'll take you through the extra things that you need that aren't necessarily in the other two courses. Okay, it's great fun getting up and playing at a jam, but you know, it is, like I said, it is nerve-wracking first of all. So hopefully this has given you a little bit of help from my experience of doing it. I'll still get up if I go to a city and play a gig and there's a jam. I'll still go down with a few of the mates and try and find one and get up and play. I still love doing that. Okay, so yeah, it's a good course if you want to sort of get up and perform blues. And then we move away from the blues. I've got Walking Through Jazz. So if you want to get into playing jazz, it's got specific chord changes. You need to be able to walk. Okay, play walking bass. Now, if you play blues, it's a great course to kind of move into jazz from. We look at the jazz blues progressions. Lots of jazz standards use the 12 bar, but they've got extra chords in there. So it's basically the 12 bar called 1, 4 and 5. A lot of these jazz blues progressions, but there are extra chords, lots of 2, 5, 1 progressions in there. Okay, so in the course you learn how to understand jazz charts, different jazz chord progressions and chord types. You've got different seventh chords in there, and you use this knowledge to be able to create your own jazz walking bass lines. So I kind of give you rough formulas of how to create jazz walking bass lines that sound great. Okay, so a lot of the focus here, we just look at the different jazz blues in different keys. Okay, for the first few modules. Then we look at some classic standards like Blues for Alice, Mr. PC, West Country Blues, Groovelation, Autumn Leaves, and you can see there we've got different kind of artists that we look at, but just those first 3 jazz blues, once you learn those progressions, these are the common blues keys for jazz, then you can play hundreds of standards. Okay, so it's a real deep dive into jazz. I'll just play you a couple of the backing tracks.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
This is West Country Blues. It's got that 3 feel to it. And then Groovelation, this one is a kind of groove number by John Schofield. So you're practicing kind of groove playing in a jazz style for this one.
2,
and you play the riff with the trombone player. So if you've ever wanted to play jazz, then check out this tune. You don't need any prior knowledge of jazz playing. And actually, coincidentally, I'm releasing a new jazz course early in 2025. So look out for that. That's going to be called Walk with Masters. And then my foundational course, okay, 0 to Hero, if you're a beginner bassist, or if you're a bassist that have played for a while but you feel you've got gaps in your knowledge, like you don't know some theory, or you're just not sure if you're playing the right technique, that kind of thing, then this course is ideal. It's not just a beginner's course, although the first module is for absolute beginners. You just skip that module if you've been playing for a bit. So some of the areas covered in the course are scales and arpeggios, learning the fretboard, groove, rhythm, timing, gear choices and technique. There's even a little section on reading music as well. So you pick up a lot of information there. If you find that you've played for a while but you don't really know what things are called, or you don't know what certain patterns are, then this is a really, really good course to kind of get all those foundational skills sorted, okay? If you've just bought your first bass, if you're watching this in January, for example, and you've got a bass for Christmas, then this is the course to take. And then we've got my Riff Meister series. So first of all, I released the Riff Meister Bootcamp, and in this course I released a riff every day for 4 weeks. But now you get the whole course, okay? So it's got 20 classic bass riffs in styles such as blues, funk, soul and rock. Each riff is split into 3 levels to suit all standards of players. Okay, so you just look at it. If you're a beginner, then you might just do the first level, but you can always come back later to the other levels, okay? So you learn how to play the riffs, and then you learn how to improvise on these riffs and get creative with the bass lines. And then you jam to bespoke drum loops, okay? So a lot of you might find that you're just playing the same bass lines. You don't really know how to get away from set bass lines but still work with the song. Well, this course shows you how to do that. You also get to play these 20 classic riffs, and they're bespoke drum tracks for every riff, okay? These are the songs in the course, okay? And I'll just play you some random drum loops. So a pro drummer did all these loops specifically for each riff, okay? So you've got real classic drum loops there, with a drummer that can play in time. You know, some of you might have drummers that you play with a bit of a struggle. So it's great to have a really quality drummer to jam to. So you've got all these different loops, okay? So they're tunes in the Riff Meister Bootcamp. That's Riff Meister 1. Then that was a real success, so I made the Riff Meister 2, okay? So we've got another set of 20 classic bass riffs, still with bespoke drum loops, okay? So again, this is suitable for all level of player. They don't necessarily follow each other in order. You can take any of them. These are the tunes or the classic riffs in the Riff Meister 2. So just look at those ones, see which ones you prefer, and take that. You can get both courses. I think if you look on the cart page, you can get half price on the second course. It comes up, okay? So yeah, you can do them in any order, and so in total there are 40 drum loops, okay, 20 for each course and 20 riffs for each course. Okay, so they're a lot of fun, those Riff Meister courses. You can get exposed to a lot of different styles. This one's got a few southern rocks in there, rock tunes in there, I see. So yeah, they're really fun, these courses. And then the last course, reading music for bass players, is actually the first course I made. So you don't need to be able to read music for any of the other courses, but if you want to learn to read music, then this is the course, okay? Lots of players have gone through this and been really surprised at actually how quick it takes to read music. It's not like it doesn't take you 2 or 3 years to learn to get the basics down. Of course, you can improve and then become a fast sight reader, but to get the basics down is actually quite fast if you've got the right direction. And also you can take on, once you can read, you take on a wider variety of gigs, but more importantly, you can get access to a lot more resources. Lots of books and stuff are written, they aren't written in tab, they're written in notation, like the Motown book, for example. There's a lot of material online. And generally you find that the notation is better quality, it's actually more accurate. Lots of tabs aren't, as you probably all know. Some of them are just rubbish or wrong. So you can open up all the doors to notation. You don't need to know anything about reading music to take the course. We start from the absolute basics, and you learn a lot of music theory along the way as well, to help you with that. So yeah, if you want to read, then definitely check this course out, okay? So here's some testimonials. There's a lot. If you look, if you click on the courses page on my website, you'll go through to the courses, click on any image of the course, and then you'll find the whole page. And there's loads of testimonials on there. I think they're important because you get an idea of what people think of the course. You can make your own mind up. These are all genuine testimonials that have come through to me from people after the course. Okay, so it's great actually to get them from my point of view as well, because then I kind of know that the courses are working. Okay, I first put a course out, I'm like, will anyone, is this going to work? And people come back and give me great feedback, and that's brilliant. Okay, but it's really useful for you to kind of see what people think of these different courses. Okay. So yeah, thanks for anyone who's sent a testimonial in. Okay, a course guarantee. So you don't necessarily know what's in the course really. You get a general idea from me. But until you start the course, you might not know if it's a great fit for you. So I always honour this. You have 14 days. You can actually, if you're just not sure about the course, then you can get it. You can go in, have a look. And if you really feel that you've made a bad decision, you want to kind of possibly swap it for another course, or you just want to get your money back, then you just send me an email and I'll do that in full. Now, I've done this before. Not many people actually do it. So, I was curious whether people just kind of sort of might take the mick of it and use this kind of just to get the money back after getting all the resources. But I offer that, and I don't want it to be any risk for you to buy a course. Okay, so that's your guarantee. So it's a no risk purchase really. Okay. Also, there is my membership as well. So this is different to the courses. I've started a membership. It's been running all year now, where you get monthly challenges, a community area, study material, access to me, and monthly live sessions. Okay, so if your thing's more about the community thing and you want a regular kind of challenge, then just consider the membership as well. Okay, so the courses aren't in the membership. You do get 30% off any course if you're a member, so it's kind of worth, actually, if you look at the price of the courses, joining up for a couple of months to the membership, getting your discount, and if you don't like any of them, then leaving. Okay, so it kind of it kind of costs the same basically with the discount. So that's something you can look into and try out. You can just try it out for a month if you want, or you can do the year. Okay, so that's the Bass Masters membership. So have a look at that on the website as well. So for December, if you're watching this after December, you're too late. Sorry. But for anyone watching it now, of the remainder of December, you get 10% off any course. So this is the code DEC10. You just put that in at the cart page. And you can just go on the homepage of my website and then click on resources and then video courses. Or you can go straight to gbshed.com/video-courses. That will take you to the courses page. If you look below this video in the description as well, should be a link there. If it's not there right now, I'll put it in a minute. Okay, so you can get that for the rest of December. You can buy the course now and start it whenever you want. Okay, you get lifetime access to the course. You can view the courses as many times as you like. So I know it's a busy time now, but you can get the course and then just start it when you're ready in, say, January or February. Okay, so hopefully that's just given you a rough idea. I know a lot of people kind of ask me about the courses, so hopefully that's helped a bit. But if you've got any questions now, I'm just going to play some tunes from the courses. And like I said, if you're watching this on the replay, still put a comment in and I can answer that. But any comments or any questions, I'll hang around for a bit and put some music on, and then I'll just answer those as and when they come up. So yeah, it's a quick session. Thanks for joining me. I hope you have a good Christmas. If this is before Christmas. And thanks for joining me in 2024. I've got lots more coming out 2025. I've got the jazz course, Walk with the Masters, and then I'm kind of starting on a Southern rock course. Okay, quite a few of you asked me about that. And there's a theory workshop coming as well. So if there's anything you'd like to see coming out of GBS in 2025, put that in the comments as well. So I'm just going to, I'll put some tunes on, and any comments, just leave them there. But thanks for joining me. Hi Terry. Good question actually. So I kind of had ideas to actually do something after the kind of British blues explosion, to move on to that early kind of where it goes into early rock and possibly even into kind of early the start of early metal really. I'll be interested to see. Just leave me a comment. What other kind of suggestions from the 60s, sort of R&B stuff, or what else you kind of possibly might be interested in, and I can definitely take that on board if I know that there's interest for that. So yeah, thanks for that question. Right, everyone, I'm going to sign off now. So I hope that was useful to some of you. And like I said, if you're watching this on replay, then you can still leave a comment below and I'll answer that. So have a great Christmas. Thanks, Terry. Thanks, Norm. It's good to see you all. So yeah, this is a quick session really, so I hope it was helpful. But I'll see you all in 2025. Have a great time, whatever you're doing over Christmas. And thanks for your support this year. So have a great one. See you later.